Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. So we are back with another tutorial on Ansible. So if you have seen my last video, we have seen how to install Ansible on a Centos and Ubuntu machine. So if you have not seen that video, please go back to my channel, go through the video so that you can set up your Ansible machine. So in today's tutorial, we are going to see how we can make use of Ansible specifically to run ad-hoc commands. So you may see why we need to have ad-hoc commands. So in Ansible, we will be mostly using playbooks, but ad-hoc commands are really a great use when we have tasks which are not repeated very often. So we have some tasks which are done very rarely, like you suddenly need to restart a few servers, or you just want to push some configuration to some of servers. We can use ad hoc commands. So we'll be seeing how we can run these commands in Ansible, and we will also see what are the different modules in this video. Okay, so if you haven't subscribed to my channel, kindly subscribe, like the video, share and comment. And I really appreciate all the people who are supporting me. So let's get started. So I have two machines, CentOS machine. One I have it named as Ansible 1, another one as Ansible 2. So in one machine, I'll be having Ansible installed, and I will be making use of the other one as the host, where I'll be configuring in our host file. So which we discussed in the previous tutorial. So we can run the commands from the Ansible machine. So it will be making those actions on the other machines. Okay, so I'm using only just one machine, Ansible 2. So if you, in a production case, we can have multiple machines to be run through the Ansible commands. Okay. Now, if you remember in our last tutorial, we have installed Ansible through pip install, right? And also in Ubuntu, we have done apt-get install. So just to quickly recap, I will just show how we can install Ansible on this CentOS machine. Okay. So I'm going to install it through yum in this tutorial. So I'm going to do some pre-installation, okay, pre-request for installing Ansible. So let me install this epel-release. So we have to wait for the installation to be completed. So those who has already seen my previous tutorial on how to install Ansible, you can skip this section because you already have Ansible installed on your CentOS or Ubuntu machine. Okay, so here we are doing yum install. Previous case we showed pip install. That's the only difference. Okay, but both in this case we need to have python-pip and the epel-release to be installed. So that's those steps are going to be the same. Okay, so only just one command is different. Okay, so let me install Ansible. So let's wait for the installation to be completed. Okay, so it's a pretty simple installation, so it's not a that complicated step to set up your Ansible on your computer. Okay, so it's done. So let me clear out the screen. So if I go to Ansible version, you can see the Ansible is installed, right? So in my tutorial on Ansible installation, I have showed you where the config files will be available. So it's under etc Ansible, right? So if you see, you have files called host roles, right? The host is what we are going to look into in this tutorial. So if I go to vi host, so I'm going to edit this file. So we spoke about how we can configure the web servers or the set of servers, right? So let me add some servers. Okay, so let me copy this similar content. and let me add it here. Okay, so I'm going to add a few servers. So I'm not going to add few, I'm just going to add only one server. So I'm going to call this as test servers. Okay. Okay, so you can call any name. So, but we'll be using this name for our Ansible commands. Okay. And I have to give the IP address of my server. So here in this case, I'm going to use only one server, which is this one. So, and the IP address is going to be 192.168.145.145. Okay, so I'm going to call this here. So I'm going to add this IP address over here. So what it says is this set of servers, we can use it in our Ansible playbook or in our Adhoc command. Okay, so if I call test servers, whatever server name, if I had some more servers like 192.168.145 dot some numbers, okay, but I don't have any system in that IP, so I'm not adding it. So you can add as much of servers you want here under that set. So once you call the command for that test servers, all these servers will be getting those changes what you're sending. Okay, so let me save this file. Okay, so we are done with the host edit. Okay, so I'm just trying to do a simple test. Okay, so I'm going to use a module called ping. Okay, so let me call Ansible, and we have to call the test servers, right? So that's the name we have given, and it's going to be module ping. Now if you see, it's asking for some fingerprint configuration or SSH authentication. Okay, so let me type yes. But if you see, it's failed because we don't have a SSH configured between 145 and this machine. So this is one of the critical parameters which you need to set. So we need to set no, SSH connection between your Ansible machine and the other machine. So in my case, it's going to be Ansible 1 and Ansible 2. So let me do that first. Okay, so I need to create a SSH key first in my Ansible 1, then I have to copy that into the Ansible 2 machine. Okay, so let me show you how to do that. So in the Ansible 1 machine, I'm going to first go to my root. Okay, and I'm going to ssh-keygen. So I'm going to create a public private key pair. Okay, so I'm just going to press enter it, so it's done. Okay, so I have the key generated and it's available under this location. So if I go to slash root slash dot ssh, sorry, it's wrong, it's not root, it's root slash dot ssh. Okay, sorry, yeah, I'm missing cd here. Okay, so slash root slash dot ssh. Okay, so if I go here, you can see the keys created here. Now if I go back to my other machine, Ansible 2, if I go to slash root slash dot ssh, okay, so there is no file at all in that name. So currently there is no file available in this Ansible 2 machine, but what we are going to do is we are going to copy the file, public key file from our Ansible 1 and to move it to this Ansible 2 machine. So let's see how we do that. Okay. So in order to copy that, what we have to do is we have to use the command ssh-copy-id, and we have to use the username, which is going to be root in this machine and also in the other machine. So if you are using some other user account like test or something, make sure that both user is available on both the machine. Okay, and we have to give the IP address of the Ansible 2 machines, which will be 168.145.145. So if I run this, you can see it's asking for the password on the other machine's password. So it's going to be the root password for that machine. Okay, so you can see it's been done. So if I go back to this machine, let me check root SSH folder again. Now you can see the folder is available, and if I go back to the list, there is something called authorized key. So what does it means is like, whatever we had it from the Ansible 1, it has created the connection to the Ansible 2 machine. Okay, so now we are ready. So now we can try to run this ping command. So I'm going to run this Ansible test servers and ping, right? Now we can see it's success, right? So what does it means? Like we are able to ping 145.145 Ansible 2 machine from the Ansible 1. So now we have successfully done, the connection from Ansible 1 to 2. Now you can do any kind of configuration settings changes, or if you want to send some file from here to the next machine, or you want to send a reboot command to those, servers listed under test servers, you can do that. So now since I had only one machine, I have done only the SSH connection to only one machine. If you have more than one, please configure all the machine to have a SSH connection configured. Then you can easily control all the machines under test servers. Okay, so you can give any name you want for the test servers as well. So as part of this, we have seen one module which is called ping. So you already seen how we can run the ad hoc ping command using this. Okay, now let's see what are the other few commands which you can use. Now let's see another module called file module, which we can use to create folders or files in the from the Ansible command. Okay, so if you see here, let me go to this home location. I don't have any files here, and the same way, if I go back to the home location, the Ansible 2, I don't have any files or it's only one file called anaconda case.config file, right? So I don't have any other folders or files. Now let's see how we can from Ansible 1, I'm going to run some command using Ansible, and let's see what the changes it will do on the Ansible 2 machine. Okay, so again the command is going to be Ansible, and the parameter is test servers, under which we have mentioned the IP address of the Ansible 2. Okay, and the argument and the module we have to call, and the module is called file, and the argument we have to give some parameters here, and the argument is going to be test path, which is going to be I'm going to give like root slash I'm going to call the folder as file, because currently there are no folder in the root location in the Ansible 2, and it's going to be a directory. Okay, directory means it's going to be a folder. Okay, let me run this command. Okay, let's see what it will do. Okay, let's see what is the changes in this machine. Now if you see, we have a folder called file. It's created in Ansible 2. How it was done? Because we just run the command in Ansible 1 with the file module. So this is the destination folder, right? So the file is created there now, because it was not there before. Now it is created. So if you see, the file is there, right? So let me see again, it's there. So let me show you how we can delete that. Okay, so I'm going to use the same command, but I'm going to change the state. So this time I'm going to call the state as absent. Okay, so previously it was a directory which created it. Now we know there is a directory called file, so I'm going to set the state as absent for that file. If you see again, it has changed. Okay, so let's see here. If you see, the file folder is gone. What that means is like we have deleted the file using the Ansible Adhoc command from here. So that's pretty simple. So now here in this case, you are able to see only in one machine, but think about in a production case where you have 100 machines, 100 servers, and you want to push one of the file, or you want to make some changes to some folders in your 100 servers, you just run one command to delete all the folders. So that's pretty simple. Or you want to create some folder and you can put it. So that's easy, that much easy using Ansible. We'll also see how we can create some file. Okay, so we'll show you that. Let's see another module. The way how we did with the creation of folder is using file module, right? Now let's see another module, the shell module. So you know shell is the what we are running this command. So using the shell, whatever command you can run, you can do using the shell module. Okay. So here if you see, I'm going to use Ansible and test servers again, and the module is shell, and I'm going to run some command inside the shell. That's going to be the argument, and I'm going to make the folder again. So I'm going to call this time the folder as test. Okay, so it's more like you're running the mkdir test inside the shell. So let me run this. Now if you see, it has changed, but it has given some warning that you can use file module. So the better concept is use the file module when you want to create some folders or file. But if you still want to use shell, this is one of the option. Okay, let me run on the Ansible too. Now you can see we have folder called test, right? So the test folder is created as part of shell module. So the shell module, you can use it for other purpose as well. So it's just one of example I've shown. Now let's see what are the other ad hoc commands you can use. Now let's try to copy some file. Okay, so in my Ansible one, let me create a file called test dot, let me call it as index dot text. Okay, and I'm going to put some entries here. Hello from Thetips4you. Okay, so that's just a text file. So if you see index.txt, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this file to the my Ansible 2 machine. See, I don't have anything here now, and even if I go to under test, I don't have anything here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the index.txt from Ansible 1 machine, and I'm going to copy to the Ansible 2 machine inside the test folder. Okay, so let's do that. So in order to do that, I'm going to use another module called copy module. So again, it's going to be Ansible test servers, and the module is called copy, and the argument. Okay, so there are two parameters here. One is for source and one is for destination. So the source is equal to, so I'm going to use it from root, and the file is going to be index.txt, right? So this is the file I'm going to copy, and the destination is going to be /root/ test, right? So that's the folder here. So it's going to be root/test. Okay, so let me do that. Okay, so let me see what happened. So if I go here, now you can see I have a file called index.txt. Let me read it. Now if you see hello from Thetips4you. So this is exactly same file, we have it here. So using this copy command, we have moved the index.txt from our source location, which is root, to the destination location, which is root/test folder. So it is that easy. So you have seen, like, now if you consider this index.txt as a configuration file. So you create a configuration file in your Ansible machine, then you use a copy command module and you just push all those things to all your test servers, which you need to do it like an ad hoc process. So you don't need to create a playbook for that. You can just run a command and you can put those configuration file to all the servers. So that, I hope that is clear for you. So let me clear out the screen. So we have seen file module, we have seen shell module, so we have seen copy module, we have seen ping module. Let me also show you something pretty interesting. So let me see, in my Ansible 2 machine, I'm checking wget, which is a component, right, which we use it for getting web pages download and things, which is not available here. So I need to run a yum install and install wget. But let me show you how we can do that through Ansible itself. So consider you have few servers, you want to install something on those servers. So I'm showing this wget as an example, but you consider you have need to install something on multiple servers. You are going to use Ansible. Okay, so I'm going to use a wget here. Let me show you how to do that. So I'm going to use another module called yum module. So it's going to be Ansible test servers again. So test servers is where we have listed the IP address of my Ansible 2 machine. Okay, so if it's some other set of servers, you have to use that. Okay, and the module is yum, and the argument, it have two parameters: name equal to wget, which is the package I want to install, and I'm going to make the state as present. Okay, let me install this. So let's wait, because this will take some time, because it's actually going to run the wget as a command in the other machine, like yum install wget. So let's wait for this to be completed, and we will see on the Ansible 2 machine. So you can see it has changed, right? So install wget. So let me go back to this Ansible 2 machine. So previously when we run wget, we were not getting any things. Right now, if you see, if I get wget, it's telling me that wget is there, but you are missing some URL. So you need to run the complete command like wget and the URL so that it can download the content. So you see, it's that simple to install wget. Let me also show you how I can. Let me install an HTTP here. So if, for example, I'm checking systemctl status HTTPD, you don't see that service here, right? So let me install that first. So I'll use the command here. So let me go to change this one, HTTPD. Let me run. So let's wait for the HTTP installation to be completed. Okay. So you can see it is also completed. So let me go back to the Ansible 2 machine. If I run the status, it says, it is inactive. So the HTTP server is installed, but the status is inactive. So the service we have to start. So I'm not going to start the service now. Let me show you how we can do that using Ansible itself. So we have some modules for it. So let me go back to the Ansible 1 machine. So we are going to see another module called service module. Okay, so let me use that again. So Ansible test servers, and the module is called service. Okay, and I'm going to use the argument and the name equal to HTTPD, right? So that's the service we want to start, and the state equal to started. So here I know it's in the stop status. So currently it's inactive, right? So we want to make it active. So let me run this. So let's wait for this to be completed. Okay, so then we can check the status on the Ansible 2 machine. So now we can see that action is completed, right? So we can see the state is started. So let's go back to this machine and let's check the status. So now if you see, the status is changed to active and running, right? So let's do the reverse. Okay, let's stop it. So let me change the started to stopped. So let's run this again. So what it's actually doing is it's actually making the changes on the other Ansible 2 machine where it's trying to stop the service HTTPD, right? So let's wait for this output. Okay, so we got the output. So let's go back, and you see the state has been changed to stop. So let me go back here, and if I check the status, you can see it has been changed to inactive. So in similar way, you can even do restart. So rather than giving stopped or started, you can just select restart. So if you want to restart some service on multiple servers, you just use the service command and restart it. Okay. Now let's see in another module which is called users. So you can create even users using that module. So first of all, let's see what are the users available in our machine. Okay. So if I run this command, more etc password, you can see some of the users like root, bin, daemon, right? So you don't have any user called test here. So same thing, in the Ansible 2 machine. Sorry, it's my mistake. So let me clear out. So it's more slash etc slash password. Okay. So here, if you see, we have Apache SSHD, so we don't have any test user, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new user called test on Ansible 2. And how I do is I will use the Ansible module user from the Ansible 1. So Ansible test servers and the module is called user, and the argument I'm going to give the name as test. Okay. So I've not set any password here because no, when you set a password, you need to give an encrypted password format. So you can do that case as well. So let me see it here. Now if you see, we have a new user called test, right? So that is also that simple. Using Ansible, you can even create users using the module user. So the only difference for you want to set a password, you just need to set a password here. Okay, and you need to give it in the format of encrypted format. So you can go through the Ansible documentation for that. Okay. Now we have created this test user, right? Now if you want to delete, how you can do that? You can just go back to the same format, Ansible test servers, and you call the user module, and the argument it's going to be name test again, but we have to change the state to absent. That means you're going to delete the user. So let me run this. Okay, so it's been done. So if I go back to here and if I run, you don't see that test user anymore. It was there here, but we don't have it now. Okay, so you can even delete users using the test module, user module. Okay, but the state is changed to absent. So let me clear out the screen. So before we wind up this tutorial, let me also show you how you can reboot your servers. So that will be one of the normal cases we have to use a lot of sudden changes we need to do or sudden reboot needed for multiple servers. You can use this ad-hoc command. So I'm going to reboot this Ansible 2 server. So how you can see the reboot is, I have the Ansible 2 running as a virtual machine, so you'll be able to see when this reboot it's getting restarted. Okay. So I'm going to call Ansible test servers, and here I'm going to call the argument directly, and I'm going to run this command as been reboot. So this will reboot all the servers and the test servers. Okay, so since I have only one, it will reboot only that one. Okay, so I have run this. If you see that it's already started rebooting the server, right? So you can see the Ansible 2 server is rebooting now. So my connection is also lost, so you have to close the putty, okay, because it's rebooting. So it's already rebooted. So that's no, this messages came because it started rebooting and we have lost the SSH connection. Okay, so it's already rebooted. So I hope this way you can even reboot multiple servers. Okay. So from this tutorial, if you have seen, like we showed how to do a simple installation of Ansible as a recap, right? And I have shown you different kind of ad hoc commands using different modules, right? So I hope all these modules are useful for you and this tutorial is informative for you. So thank you for watching. Kindly subscribe to my channel, like the video, share and comment.